Hello, handsome gentlemen and beautiful ladies. Welcome back. We are here once again with some more Call of Duty action. You know the drill by now. And we've got some more ACCL action this evening. Not ACGL, but we do have a bit of cross-contamination, Pablo, because we've got the South Africans here once again to bless us on the screen. And one of the more established organisations in South Africa, in Nixuh.
Yeah, this is going to be sweet. Nixuh, obviously, everyone kind of used to the name a little bit by now from ACCL picking up the boys in Snake and Johnny W, and that is Nixuh ACCL. So a nice little cross collaboration there from South Africa to England, and now we've got the actual South African team. So this is going to shape up to be very, very nice. Bueno, White, and a team. I mean, we were kind of having a conversation before about who we'd casted over, and honestly, you think you casted over Mold, but I don't think I've cast over any of these guys. So it's another eight way that where we're not entirely sure about the quality of the players or how they're going to shape up, but they're the players for you there. Nixuh is shaping up to be Bevs and Mage, Scorpio and Premium, and obviously Bueno White is Molds 33 or Ratman and HJ. But yeah, Major, I honestly open, blank slate and open book as such.
Yeah, one thing I do know is from watching Bevs and seeing him on 200 ping, he's very good on 200 ping. So I would anticipate that his team is very, very good on ping, let alone off ping. I mean, we casted the South African lads the other day, didn't we, Astra? And they were very, very good on 200 ping themselves. And Mr. Johnny W, how you doing, Johnny? Is asked, are they hosting on the South African host? No, they're not. So it's always going to be on the EU host. So the South African players, you will have to bear in mind, they will be pinging their absolute nipples off on 200 ping. Yeah. So you'll have to anticipate that their bullet reg isn't quite going to be what it could be. But obviously, when we saw Astra put up a good fight, Pablo, it pretty much demonstrated kind of the ability that these players have got to be able to put up good battles against some of these more established ACCL rosters. Obviously, Bueno White, we don't really know a huge amount about them anyways, or regardless, same with Nixuh, but we know that Nixuh make a lot of noise in the South African scene anyways, across quite a few, so you would anticipate that the teams that represent them, especially considering ACCL, have got that crossover with them, haven't they, sending the boys over to Toronto, yeah. So it's going to be an organisation that we would very much assume have a very, very good core four of players here.
Yeah, I think, this is obviously an org that have got deep ambitions. So then, with there being the home team, I'm sure these are going to be of the highest quality. We've already seen as well that the quality just seems to be of a really, really good standard in South Africa. So despite, potentially only being able to scrim within their own small community, they're kind of making strides and making waves. And this Div 2 matchup's going to really be a nice base and a nice kind of marker to set out where they stand. We know, again, Vanguard will just kind of mess us up in terms of predictions and stuff, but at least we'll get an idea of kind of where they are in the world in terms of the quality. That's the beauty of the structure of the ACCL as well.
Yeah, and looking ahead into this series, for anyone who is interested, this is what our map set is looking like. It's a pretty mixed bag of Tuscan, Bocage, Gavutu, and then we've got a double Berlin to see it out. So not exactly a typical kind of look for a series, Pablo. We're used to seeing at least a couple of the old Tuscans in there, but we don't. We only have the one and then a double Berlin to see it out, which is normally one that we normally see at the start of a series. So it'll be an interesting setup, this one.
No triples, mate. That's the wild thing. Finally, I mean that almost is kind of a perfect map set right there. We get to a Tuscan, and the beginning is perfect. We get to see exactly where the teams are. I mean, every player worth their salt should be able to handle a Tuscan hardpoint to some degree. We should at least see some good strategy, some decent trades, but more than anything else, we'll get a fairly decent idea of where gun skill is. Bocage S&D, I mean, it's a farcical S&D at the best of times, but again, it's going to give us an idea of kind of strategizing and quality as well. Maybe we might even see a sniper on this crazily small map. Gavutu Control, again, a bit of an odd one, so again, it's going to give us that opportunity to see the ARs, whereas the other two maps not necessarily going to allow them to shine as much potentially, but that Gavutu Control will probably give us that opportunity. And then if we do get to the double Berlin at the end, then we're going to see that kind of higher level strategy come into play.
Yeah, I think obviously with the South African lads as well, playing on such a high ping, kind of the slightly slower pace maps, I think would benefit them a little bit more than whether they're running around on a Bocage and kind of relying quite heavily on hit reg and
Yeah.
connection and that kind of stuff. So maybe we might tend to see a set of maps that benefit them a little bit more than if we saw kind of like a triple Tuscan, a double bocage, that kind of thing. But again, we're kind of still rocking a blank slate with both teams respectively, really, to kind of see where these lads lie, because we have seen a little bit of disparity in the division. There's been quite a mixed match of teams. Obviously the division's a little bit larger, I believe, since the ACCL condensed it down from 7. So we're getting some of those Division 3 teams kind of moving up to Division 2, and you're getting a bit of crossover. So there is quite a big gap between, say, the teams that are probably up towards the top and the ones at the bottom, because I believe the lads of Nixuh might be 2 wins for 2 losses at the moment, or maybe that's Astra. I might be getting them confused, but they've obviously got some series under their belt, and I'm pretty sure they've won some. That's adamant. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure the chat will correct me on that anyways. But they've obviously demonstrated that they're not here to just kind of make up the numbers. They're obviously here to try and see how they fare up against some of these players. And again, this is why we kind of say it's a shame kind of with the way the ping works and the kind of the circumstances that we're set with, because you don't really tend to see the best out of players when they're on 200 ping. You see the best of them when they're actually playing against people that are in the same region as them.
No, but I think it's nice that they've accepted how frustrating this is potentially going to be for them. I mean, I normally rock like a 50+, and I'm already crying at any given opportunity and blaming it for every single death that comes my way. So rocking a 200 ping, you know, it's kind of good of them to do that in a way. They're going to have to accept their fate, especially when it comes to not necessarily maybe Div 2, but if any of the boys and girls from South Africa make it into Div 1, they're going to be coming up against players who play very, very quickly and rely on you know, breaking camera and kind of those kind of like movement mechanics, which aren't going to be friendly to a higher ping. So it's gonna be, I mean, I can understand why they've done it, like just to open their community out a bit more and give themselves a chance to play some different faces and potentially, you know, and if they do well on the back of like good ping, this terrible ping, sorry, you know, potentially, and then we know there's lag comp and stuff, but potentially, you know, you get them over here for the land, they could be disgusting. Yeah,
and a quick shout out to my buddy Grim, or Mr. Grim, as I like to call him. Thank you very much, buddy, for the resub. 14 months, by the way. What an absolute legend. What a handsome man as well. Thank you very much, Grim. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're well. But yeah, kind of talking, kind of still on that, Pablo. It's kind of a doorway that's open to the South African teams that have decided to take part in the ACCL. And like you say, it's not an easy thing to sit back and say, okay, we'll jump in and we'll play on 200 ping. We'll sit back, we'll allow it, and kind of hope that our talent shines through a little bit. But like you mentioned, it's again, ACCL has brought quite a big spotlight to a lot of the European teams and a lot of the European players. So if they do put on a very, very good performance against some of these top ACCL teams, they are going to start to grab the attention of potentially some of these organisations abroad to maybe think, right, okay, well, we'll keep an eye on them. Obviously, challenges isn't a thing in South Africa. So it might, again, be an opportunity for maybe the Call of Duty to look at it and go, maybe we've got a potential region here that might be worth setting something up in again.
Yeah, I think that ultimately the first ambition should be to get as many people from South Africa to just join that community and really start to build out that community, so that you start to get that kind of pyramid effect where you have a nice fat base at the bottom and the quality right at the top, and that's constantly being pushed. And that way, you know, the ACCL can then provide a league that's financially worth these teams playing, and then hopefully with that kind of recognition, and if they get a solid enough base, the CDL will open their eyes to a potentially new region and then be able to bring the actual kind of challenges money. But again, that'll probably end up coming at the cost of diluting down every other region in the process, because CDL just getting cheaper and cheaper by the year. But yeah, I mean, hopefully that would be really good for the South African scene. And obviously, you know, Prezi and the ACCL would be a massive feather in their cap to be able to say, well, we brought that spotlight to that scene, and these guys were just so quick to jump on it, and they've played, and European hosts are happy to play anywhere. So it's all in all, it's a really good vibe so far. Yeah,
it would be quite funny, wouldn't it, if they announced South Africa challenges and then all of a sudden the EU boys are paying for like £5.50 a packet of Skittles and a meal deal for first place in the 2K.
We know someone who'd appreciate the meal deals, don't we?
Yeah, 100%. But one of the obviously another talking point for EU challenges, Pablo, is I'm not sure if you saw, but the Rocker lads managed to secure the most recent 2K. They obviously had a bit of a hiccup when they weren't obviously as good as they were when the game first came out. They obviously won the first 3 2Ks in a row. and then they kind of hit a bit of a stumbling block by their standards, but they've obviously come out and they've managed to actually knock the Toronto EU lads off the perch of the top of the EU, kind of going into it. So we're back in a situation. We're back in a situation again where we're like, right, well then, who's the best team?
Well, I'm going to go with the EU lads. I'm not having any more Spanish wins this weekend. I can't cope.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, for anyone who is a Liverpool fan, unlucky, as I would say to most people. But yeah, we're now loading into match number 1. The map that we always talk about is a good starting point for any series, Pablo, to get an idea kind of where the ability of both teams kind of lie.
Well, it's the map. We know next year when we're playing Modern Warfare 2 and someone goes, oh, what were the maps like in Vanguard? And you're like, well, Tuscan was pretty good. I guess that was probably the takeaway from this. But yeah, I mean, it is the best of a largely bad bunch of maps. But it's going to give us a great idea of where Nixuh stand almost immediately. And you can see, I mean, I can't actually hear a thing because I've got myself muted because I am a dope at the best of times. Yeah. But already that P1 just looking to be just initially contested, which is no great surprise. And obviously it's going to take at least a full rotation before we start to see it. But Major, already Nixuh starting to get a few kills, and that kill feed looking ominously white from the outset.
Yeah, very good start here, and the boys of Nixuh with a decent, sizable amount of time just off the rip. You can see, though, the players from Bueno White are just waiting for that opportunity to try and push through. And Fear is going to try and keep his head down, but he's going to get taken down there by some clean shots from Ratman as the bodies start to throw themselves at it. Premium's going to go for the chow, but you can see there's so many players from Bueno around the point. He is going to get some more shots in, but HJ manages to clean up a few more players as we get ready for that P2. But you can already see, Pablo, there's kind of quite a bit of structure to these boys of Nixuh. They definitely seem to be one that you would anticipate would be quite organised, because the rotation for P2 seems pretty clean from them so far.
Yeah, and set up as well. They did nicely set up almost immediately. It is going to be number 3 in Fear, who's going to be doing most of the aggro kind of play, already making his way through Church and now heading towards the back, just trying to get fixed and cause himself a little bit of problems for the Bueno White boys, but it is going to be Molds who manages to take him down. So we do see that kill feed go red again, and it's a nice push really from the boys from Bueno White. They're going to mix things up a little bit and get back onto that hill. I think this is going to be a little bit of a war of attrition, trades going back and forth. As we can see, 33 with a nice 2 pieces. He drops Fear and Premium, and HJ joins in the party as well. So Bueno White already looking to slap back Major early doors and try and get this tied up again. And again, it's looking like we can't put paper between them.
Yeah, not much separating them at the moment, and it will be Bueno White with that scrap time that is going to potentially push them just over the top. But you can already see players and bodies rotating over towards the next hill, and this time, on this occasion, it's going to be Bueno White that are ready and set up for the next hill, but Bevs is going to manage to lob an absolute Kobe nade straight over the top to take the man out of the back. He's going to have potential another couple of gunfights, and he is going to manage to trade out one man, but he gets on the point, doesn't realise that those Bueno White players are just pushing through that field side, and Fear going to try and push his way down in through fire. Not necessarily the easiest hill to break. We'll see if they can utilise their nades and tacticals efficiently. 33 though, just locked out the back, not wanting to budge, and another set of kills that goes in favour of the team in red, but Bevs almost manages to get more than 2, but not quite enough. Good strong hold from Bueno.
Yeah, really nice repel of that first attack, and the boys from Nixuh have been trying really hard to try and break in. Bevs with a 2-piece. We saw 33 though going absolutely off his 8 and 3 right now. I guess you would potentially say he's the kill lead. The Bevs on a 9, but he has dropped 8 times. Scorpio though, Major, the player who definitely needs to get into the game. 2 and 6 right now, triple negative with only 25 seconds on the hill. You feel for Nixuh, if he's able to get a few more shots, play his life a little bit better, or at the very least just try and be a hill kitten, then he is going to be able to turn the tide a little bit. But I think largely that 35 second differential comes down to that kind of lackluster play coming out to Scorpio. But Bueno White looking very good across the board, and 33 just causing absolute havoc. But it is going to be Bevs looking to break into the back. But again, Major, every hill has just largely been contested, with the exception of the end of that P3, which the boys from Bueno White did an awesome job of holding.
Yeah, and they're still trying to push their way in here. Bueno White, they're still ever present. Bevs doing his utmost just to try and stay alive, and he gets 1 kill, can't get the second though, as 33 manages to trade him out. And now the lads from South Africa are going to try and punch their way in. Scorpio with 1, HJ's going to reply with a kill, and already you can see now that lead is really starting to get pushed out ever so slightly, as it now stands at around 40 seconds. Bevs is going to try and get his way into the hill, manages to take down 2, but again the trades are just very clean from Bueno White. They will get that scrap time, but one thing that they do have is that rotation. They've had it a few times though, Pablo. They've been ready to go in the hill, but the boys of Bueno White, they just seem to have that ability just to punch their way in through the front.
Yeah, Scorpio made the effort to kind of flank all the way round, and I think Premium got lucky, spawned out towards P1 just as Bueno White were pushing through mid, so they managed to get a couple of easy kills. So realistically speaking, this really should be Nix's kill, but the boys from Bueno White have just done awesome work of pushing through from that less preferred side, and just getting the picks. Their accuracy is quite disgusting. Molds not go one, not go twice, but goes 3 times in the kill there, and that's going to put him on 17-8, and actually he's gone under the radar a little bit in terms of kills, but that's an awesome play right there from Bueno and Mage. That score is now hitting 70 seconds, so a full kill time right there for them to try and claw back.
And Molds is just absolutely cutting through players as he gets another 3-piece. We didn't miss that one as he's chewing through those South African bodies at the moment. 20-8, now 6 in a row for Molds. Needs one more for the glide bomb though, and it might be Scorpio that's going to be that man that falls, and it will be. So fully streaked out now is going to be Molds. Great work from him, and his team will have him to thank for quite a large chunk of time so far on this map. But now, can Nixuh try and pull their finger out a little bit? You can see Bevson currently probably the best performing on that side, but Premium and Scorpio currently struggling just in terms of kills. They are just going to wait patiently for an opportunity to maybe try and break in here. 33 going to be watching over through you as those players flow in towards the hill. Can he manage to take Bevs down? Or Bevs wins a gunfight, so they do get in. HJ going to look to try and mop up a couple of players. There's the first one for him. There's going to be another man over the top, but Fear is going to be there to help his teammate out. And looks as though this P1 potentially, Pablo, might be a really important one here if they can hold at least the remaining 20 seconds.
Yeah, I think P1 in the previous rotation was kind of good for them, but again, just a very straightforward hill. There isn't a lot to think about. Just control you know, the spawn that the opposition are coming through. So it plays well to Nix's kind of, you know, core AR skills. But again, once we start getting that P2 rotation, which we are seeing now, this is where problems start to play for Nixuh. This is where they've started to fall off, and it's a beautiful kill right there, Bebson. That was a few extra shots. He is going to get typed up, but that was a nice turn, nice snap, nice reaction kill. And Premium's got a lot of work to do though. He's going to have to deal with through the time, and doesn't go his way though. And 33, that man on the spot again. 15 and 9 major, huge plays, but they brought it back to a 45-second game.
Yeah, I don't think that was an issue with ping. I'm pretty sure Bevs was just trying to make it a little bit saucy in this map, but his teammates are now getting quite a big chunk of kills here at the moment. Scorpio's got to be careful though, because he is on streaks hit. Still needs 2 though, and that man in Ratman drops onto the point. There's 6 for Scorpio. Got to try and play his life again. There's nobody currently pushing him at the moment, and it looks as though Bueno White are just going to maybe chalk this hill. You can see Molds is going to try and toy with the idea of getting through, but he's not going to manage it. And you can see that combined streak, Pablo, now 9 on the side of Nixuh. If they manage to get the remaining time on here, which it looks as though they pretty much will, and Scorpio gets a glide bomb, they are pretty much going to be straight back in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. There's literally no reason for them to not get into parity at the very least. But they are going to require that's a shocking grenade straight from my school of grenades right there. But it is going to require them to get this streak though. So I think he dropped it as he managed to get it. I'm not sure whether he managed to get it or not, but I think he may have fallen at the final hurdle. No, he does get. Oh yeah, he's got the one he can't use, but it is going to be Molds who's going to be trying to clear out that back of that P3 and just ensure that the boys from Bueno are going to be able to get back on there. It is going to be a race though. You can see those 2 white arrows are about to time it perfectly to get into position, but they're going to have to deal with number 8 in Molds, who again 29 and 17, and is absolutely disgusting. He's there every time to clear out the last player, and that's going to be Premium needing to get 2-piece right now. No shots, Major, are just a little too wild to be able to clear them out.
Yeah, they're still throwing quite a few bodies at this. They really don't want to leak any sort of scrap time here at Nixuh. And they are going to try and still get HJ off the hill, and Premium lands. They want a Premium nade right on his head to take him down, and a little bit of a bonk there in the back from Ratman. Manages to take Bevson down, so they've got a lot more players over towards this Churchside hill now, as it is now going to pop. You can see that Scorpio is just having a little bit of a gunfight in the back with Ratman, so we'll have to just wait to see if he can manage to stay alive here. He's really far into the spawn here. Is Ratman takes down one Scorpio, going to go around the corner, and he does trade him as bodies fall in and around the hill. They still have Molds here, who is currently absolutely frying as Molds clears up the mess once again. Looking for a third onto Fear. He's not going to quite get it. And Nixuh, through all of that back and forth, they still have players in the hill. They're still soaking up the time. They're going to have to try and push out potential lanes, but as soon as I say that, the kill feed lights up completely red.
Yeah, and just to make matters worse, it's a TK right there. HJ takes out Ratman, but it's not going to be any good for the boys in white as as Bueno White just seem to enjoy this close quarter church area. They just absolutely dominate with the SMGs, and it's been a bit of a nightmare scenario for Nixuh. And at that point, they really did need to try and capture as much time as possible, because now they're back to this 40-second deficit, and the boys from Bueno at that kind of golden ratio point where they only need to get a handful of time off this hill in order to see this first game out. It is going to be again major though, Nixuh onto this P5. They did this in the previous rotation, but just weren't solid enough to keep hold of it. And that's beautiful play from Bevson though, as he drops 33, drops Ratman. Mold's going to try and fire back, but again, Nixuh just not strong enough, and the boys from Bueno break on in once more.
Yeah, they're going to try and push through the bottom here. Fear's got quite a lot of kills on his page here. There's one, there's two. The trades, are they going to be quick enough? They are. Bev's, again, going to be there to grab another engagement. Currently 62 on the cards for him at the moment. It's only Molds that is currently just ever so slightly behind him, but now bodies from Bueno again still in the hill. This is a big 20 seconds here if they can try and get the contest time. Fear needs to try and get more than one here, and he does manage to clear out the remaining players, but 15 seconds still on this hill, and you can see Bevson again, a big kill comes through from him, so they won't allow Bueno White to get even closer to getting this map done. They will get the remaining scrap time, but you can see the kills in and around the hill courtesy of this man once again. Molds still playing his life well. His teammates are now set up on the hill, and it looks as though Nixuh, Pablo, they got to be quick and they got to be efficient here. They probably got one, maybe two quick goes at this.
Yeah, Bevson with a big, you know, he needed to get a kill top church. He gets destroyed, and that's going to hold the boys from Nixuh up, trying to break onto this hill. It's going to leave number 2 in. Bevson all alone. He's going to need to get these kills, and that MP40 again does work, but he's going to be left one more on the hill. Fearmate cleans things up, and Nixuh able to get onto the hill. They desperately need this time in order to get to, you know, push that 200 mark at the very least. It is Premium and Fear just holding down the lanes with the AR, but yet to get the support.
Oh,
number
man.
5, oh my days. Major, what a nade, just to clear the team out, and it's going to be Ratman on the kill. 16 seconds though, they can't win it off this, so it's all going to come down to that rotation. And who's that lone warrior again in Scorpio? 19 and 24 with 1 minute 24 on the clock. He has been taken down, and it's going to be Bueno White on P2.
So, only need 17 seconds here, Bueno White, to get this map over the line. Bevson's got to be quick if he's going to hit this flank, but Molds is watching out the back. He's been a thorn in the side of them the whole map, and he's done exactly the same thing again. Gets the important kill on those players. 33 is going to be busy up towards this platform side, but with only 5 seconds left, Nixuh, they've got to throw bodies at this, and they've got to do it quickly. Only 2 seconds remain. The South Africans throw themselves on the hill. HJ's going to clear out some bodies, though, and Scorpio surely going to be dead to rights here any second as it gets a little bit messy inside the hill. Bevson still trying to play his life. I think that's going to be map 1, and it is, though. And Bueno White, they just about see it over. 250 to 203.
Yeah, just a little bit of a lack of being able to hold on to the hill when they did manage to get the rotation, particularly in that P2 on both rotations. So struggled quite a lot. They did that first hill in the first rotation, made a nice contest, but ever since then, they just really weren't able to keep up with the crazy slaying of Molds. 43 and 27. Although we do see Fear Mage dropping some beautiful numbers in there. But again, you've got to say, great job, despite the fact that they're probably playing on horrific ping. Made a game of it, but again, just not able to really push through and take control of the game at any point. You always felt that the P4 was going to be a problem for them when they got into church. You always felt that they couldn't hold P5, and then P3 just became a contest. So really, in terms of money hills, just very limited for Nixuh.
Yeah, so they put up a good fight in large proportions of that game. Obviously, they started off a little bit slow, Nixuh, but the middle portion of the game, they were keeping up, and obviously, throughout the whole map, Molds was just putting up so many big kills for them that it just felt as though that slaying ability wasn't really nullified on the side of Bueno White. So Nixuh kind of just fighting an uphill battle towards the end of it. We obviously, though, go into Search and Destroy, Pablo, a game mode where we talk about kind of regains anyway, but with obviously the ping issues, Nixuh have again got an opportunity to slow it down. Obviously, the fast-paced gunfights aren't going to benefit them when they're on 200 ping. So, oh, there he goes. He appears out of the cave. Happy days. So, but yeah, going into Search and Destroy, it's an opportunity now for them to kind of benefit from the slower-paced gameplay with the kind of the connection issues that they will obviously have, and hopefully maybe try and claw a map back, because it definitely looked as though they're capable of taking a map off of Bueno White here. They did push them pretty close towards the end. So you would anticipate that their search might be a decent level of ability as well.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of ping, Tuscan's not the biggest map, but it's obviously slightly larger geographically than Bocage, so you would hope that maybe the matrix itself, the actual map itself, and when it comes to kind of computing where the players are, would probably help them a little bit. So again, with that kind of slow pace that S&D offers, the accuracy hopefully will be there a little bit more. They're not going to feel the kind of problems that you encounter on a fast-paced, larger map, that especially when the ping's through the roof. So
yeah,
potentially like a good opportunity for them to swing this back. And we've seen it, how many times have we seen this happen where a team's won that hard point and won it quite effectively, and only to get turned over quite diabolically in the next map. So good opportunity for Nixuh to perform some diabolical act, and Bocage S&D is the perfect one to cast your spells. Fear Mage right there is a player that potentially could put those figures up. He had a really good hard point towards the latter portion of the game. So again, just a good opportunity for him. That's that player there, Mage. I think he's Fear Mage on the map. So
yep.
yeah, good opportunity now for him to potentially cause some problems for the boys from Bueno White.
Yeah, guys. So we are just waiting for the big green button to be hit as we go in towards map 2. And as mentioned, if any of you guys don't know Nixuh, they are a South African team who are partaking in Division 2 of ACCL this season. Obviously, they're also taking part in the ACGL, Pablo, where they're probably going to be one of the favourites, to be honest. Yeah, I think from what I've heard, there's around 5, maybe 6 teams in ACGL, and obviously Nixuh, being the organisation of the size that they are, want to be kind of up at that level. So it'll be interesting to see when we cast some more ACGL games, if we do cast over them, to see kind of how that ability differs from what we're seeing here, because you would anticipate it's going to be a huge difference, especially in respawns, for this team kind of playing local ping. And not kind of being put in the mud by connection issues, because to put 200 points on a board in a hard point on 200 ping is pretty tippable, to be honest. I mean, yeah, we struggle to get kills on decent ping, let alone on 200. So we'll have to see kind of.
Speaking yourself, I'm on Virgin, so I'm having nothing said. I think the only thing again is that obviously we learned quite a lot when we cast over the ACGL game about how the system works in South Africa, and that some of the places can get cut off in terms of electricity in order to conserve or preserve the electricity kind of like units that they've got over there. So obviously they've probably got that, battle plans in place for that, but Fear Mage dropping 37 on 200 ping is nothing to be sniffed at. So again, I fully expect these 4. I really want to see these 4 against Slime and against Triton, just to see, we've already got an idea of how they play. So I've got a feeling these 4 just seem a little bit tastier than the other players that we've cast over so far. But again, we can't really make that call until we see them play. But again, Major, this is a great opportunity for them to slap back and put some EU faces in the dirt. Yeah, and the South African gaming community on COD is very, very close. It feels as though pretty much everyone knows everyone. So I think if a particular player is getting a big vouch from quite a lot of South African players, you would anticipate that kind of that level that they bring to the game is obviously going to be very, very good. So we now go in towards Search and Destroy in map number 2. Nixuh going to be the first side to attack. Mage is going to be that man in charge of bomb as Bueno White. They seem pretty locked out, but the first blood instantly comes through from Bev. Going to open it up, and it looks as though Bueno White going to be on the back foot already. Yeah, it does look like Ratman just decided to try and get a pick, but he just movement out of the boys from Nixuh was really, really nice. And they've got like a nice strategy already, very coordinated, almost ballet-like at times, where they, diving into positions. So right now it has forced Bueno White onto the back foot. They are 3v4 right now, but again, there's no response so far. Scorpio takes Molds down. That's a huge kill right there from a player who was largely quiet in the hard point. Fear Mage is going to get that bomb down. It's going to be a 2v4 Major, so a nice start for the boys in white. Yeah, they got a difficult opening round here, Bueno White. 33 and Ratman are going to have to try and work something as a duo. You can see there are so many Nixuh arrows just flooding around the site. Can they manage to get premium off the back tank? Oh, the shot's a little bit wayward there from 33. He's not going to get the pick. And now Ratman's going to have to try and strike here on the flank. Can he take premium down? No, he can't. They're falling by the wayside. They're being made to pay for missing even a couple of bullets. And Nixuh with a very strong first round. Man, they were so organised at every point. I mean, you got to feel bad for 33 not being able to take him off the tank head, but just every single position, their movement, everything was kind of coordinated. So really, Bueno White, if they want to try and slap back, they're going to have to get in the faces of Nixuh, get a little aggressive, and just force them out of that comfort zone. Because Major, that was quite beautiful at times, mate. Yeah, that was very efficient. They played it patiently. We know kind of Bocage is one where teams can sometimes just throw players absolutely everywhere.
Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. And Nixuh, their patient play paying off. But Ratman much better. First blood this time in favour of Bueno White, excuse me, as it will be replied with a kill from Fear. Scorpio just up the top here, as Fear gets a second one as well. So he's got to be careful here, Moles, not to try and push through a little bit too aggressively. That's exactly what he's going to do. And the teamwork again coming through from the South Africans. It's now HJ, the last man up. Scorpio's ready and waiting, and another round on the board for the South Africans. They look very, very accomplished here at Search, Pabs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a slap back. They got, you know, the knockdown at the beginning where the first blood doesn't go their way. And then every single kill after that is just, you know, a great positioning, exceptional gun skill, just great communication clearly. So, again, you know, Bueno White on the back foot at the minute. 3 players on 0 right now. Fat donuts across the board. Only Ratman with that first blood. So, again, the kind of Nixuh players across the board just all contributing, which always helps towards a healthy scoreline. It is only 2-0, though. Plenty of time to go for Bueno White. They do need a couple of picks, though, desperately to build that confidence.
Yeah, and Molds, there you go. There's his first kill of the Search. Oh, can't quite snap around quick enough. And the trades, are they going to be there? Bevson's going to get some shots in towards HJ and back him up. HJ is going to get the kill onto him, though, through the door. As, oh, Mr. Bookie with the sub. Thank you very much, Bookie. Hope you're well, brother. I'll DM you after, mate. Thank you very much. And Premium now left in the 1 versus 3. Much better round here from Bueno White. They've obviously dropped the bomb in an awkward spot. Premium's going to have to work something pretty premium here. He's not going to do it, and Bueno White get their first round on the board.
Yeah, that was definitely not premium with those shots towards the end, and he's going to get taken off. And, you know, Bueno White, a lot more caution from them. They decided to sit back. They had 2 players towards that back street area, both on the tank, and it paid dividends in the end when they each get a kill, you should say. So nice play. It has made them a little cautious, and you can't really do that on the attacking round. So I wonder how, just interesting to see their strategy now going into this attacking phase when they know just how well set up Nixuh can be.
Yeah, and Bueno now back on the attacking side. Can they win 2 rounds back-to-back to tie it back up? That's the question. And there's going to be a lot of players out in mid here. Bevson, is he going to have eyes on? Oh, Fear spots one man. He's going to get the first engagement, and he manages to win the gunfight. He manages to duck away as well, as Molds is going to be waiting for him outside the front of Granny's. They are just waiting patiently here, Nixuh. They've got players in pretty much every single position. For those players that do decide to try and push through, Premium is going to work a bit of a flank all the way round, though. He's not going to have any engagement as of yet, but now is Fear going to spot him in the corner? He is. Surely it's going to be only a matter of time now before another kill comes through, and Fear gets yet another one. And it looks as though Scorpio's going to mop up another player, so now HJ, last man up, 1 versus 4. Can he manage to at least get a couple of picks potentially here? Because at the moment, Nixuh, again, looking like a pretty clinical round.
Yeah, he just does not know where to go right now, and he's going to get tagged up. Any which way he went, there was problems. You know, only option really route was to go to B, and that obviously doesn't take him anywhere. But again, this kind of efficiency coming out of Major. One thing that was apparent from that game was that the expert communications. You know, one player gets a player tagged up towards steps, that kind of Z steps, and his compadre's right there to trade them out within a millisecond. So again, just really nice plays from Nixuh, the communication on point, and just Bueno White being put into the dirt right now. You would even go as far as to say that they're on the struggle bus, mate.
Yeah, Ratman currently the best performing with 2 and 3, says it all pretty much. And again, another really, really patient approach here from Nixuh. Fear's got to be careful though. He is going to get tagged up with a nade. They know that 33 is back there as they go for the double nader. Is it going to land on him? No. He is going to manage to avoid those grenades as they slowly try and push their way up here. Scorpio just stun checking a couple of corners. Nixuh as they wait. There's still players of Bueno White still just toying with the idea of maybe trying to make a play here. But there's the first one. Molds absolutely snaps onto Fear. The first blood. Molds with 1. Can't get the second as it does come through from Bevson with the trade. HJ, though, looking to swiftly mop him up. He's going to do that. And now it's going to be a position for the South Africans in a 2 versus 3.
It's a big job for Scorpio again. This kind of line of defense towards the back. It's really difficult to break. You've got to be quick like that. He snaps straight onto 33, and that's a big kill. Gives himself an opportunity potentially to maybe get a pick over to Ratman. He's got to be super accurate, but Ratman is going to beam those lasers straight back at him. And Bueno White bring it back to a 1-round deficit. And again, they just on the defense, they seem to have Nixuh unlocked. It's just that attack inside. I think if they can, as you say, Major, break the serve of Nixuh on that attacking round, I think they can start to potentially come good. But one thing is apparent. The boys from Bueno White have started to regain. Everyone's starting to get kills. Only 33 continue to be on the struggle bus at 1 and 4. But yeah, everyone doing so well so far. So 3-3-2 it is, and it's going to be HJ with bomb.
Yeah, and I think one man who's going to be very important to their success in this one is going to be the man that had a brilliant map one here in Molds. And again, typical opening Bocage here with a lot of nades being exchanged, and first blood goes in favour of HJ this time. So Bueno White, when are they going to try and push through here? Scorpio can open the door and spots him, and Bevson's actually going to be the man to get the pick. You can see, though, Ratman, he's going to use this as an opportunity to try and maybe pinch some players out the back. Molds grabs one, 33, grabs one as well, and all of a sudden, Premium now going to be the last man up. There's still going to be an opportunity, maybe, to try and guard this A-bomb, but it looks as though Molds and the boys, they're going to try and take this beat.
Yeah, clever play by them, and this could be the breaker save that the boys from Bueno White so desperately need. They've been so good on defense, a 3v1 Premium with a ton of work to do. They can't allow this to go away, and they're not going to. Bueno White wrap things up pretty quickly from that bomb plant, and it's going to be 3-all major, and that could be the break in the game that Bueno needed in order to solidify this S&D, because so far it has been a conundrum they haven't been able to unravel, but right now it does feel the fact that on the defensive side they've been really good in the last two defensive rounds. So Bueno White definitely in the ascendancy, and everyone's starting to get picks. 33 doubled his score, and we're starting to see Molds get more and more important picks.
Yeah, worrying phase here for Nixuh after a strong start. We're now back to even again. The wall bangs aren't going to connect straight through that gate there for Ratman, as again Nixuh opting for the patient play. We haven't seen anyone try and do that complete balls to the wall aggression. HJ, however, has got to be careful, because Scorpio, I think he got eyes on him. I would anticipate he did. And Molds, you can see there through the X-ray. Theory's just outside, and Ratman's going to get another pick here. So 3 in a row now for Ratman as he picks off yet another player. He is going to reposition towards his back tank, and he's going to get another pick. So Fear's got to try and get him out of this position. He does get one, and he's going to try and snap us at the second. He does get it, but Bueno White, meanwhile, kill him and his teammates, and they now take the lead 4-3.
Yeah, and again, you can only say that that is exactly the place Bueno White wanted to be when they break the save on the attacking round. They just wanted to continue this dominant performance in the defensive rounds, and they've taken the lead purely on the back of that. Some nice plays again, though, from Nixuh, getting some picks, but you've got to look to Premium 2 and 4 right now, being the kind of, you know, heavy anchor in the side, just dragging them down a little bit, with everyone on Bueno White starting to get picks, starting to get confidence more than anything else, and we're starting to see that pace coming out of Fear Made. So they're going to try and mix things up. I think he's going to try and get himself as close to that A site as possible. This is crazy aggression coming out of Nixuh right now.
Yeah, they get the first blood. Ratman falls. Arguably the MVP in this search and destroy so far. Premium is just going to be watching down this left-hand lane, and you can see there's going to be a lot of players on the side of Bueno White just waiting for the opportunity to push through. Oh, the timing for Scorpio. He's actually going to reposition here, and they're going to manage to take his team out of the back, so not necessarily the smartest thing, as he did have an opportunity for a pick, and subsequently his teammate's going to fall there as he opens out the lane. So with Molds just in bottom grannies. Oh, I think he spotted him. Mold surely spotted him. I'm not sure if Scorpio spotted him, though. Oh, he manages to turn around and gets the pick, and it's a really important one. The bomb now goes down. 2 versus 3. They're going to have to be quick here. 33 is going to get spotted. He will fall, and now HJ, last man up. 1 versus 3. He's going to have to go quickly here, because there are a lot of Nixuh players around this bomb. They're already sticking the defuse. Bevson, is he going to be the first man to fall? No, he's not. He's going to get the kill onto HJ, and Nixuh going to tie up once again.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that caution when Molds was bottom grannies, and I don't think it was respect. I genuinely think he was trying to bait him up the stairs, and he eventually gets the pick, and I can kind of understand why he didn't take the shot towards Taxi. I don't think he felt he had the right position. His angle was slightly off. But again, just a little bit of time taken in order to get that pick, but it ends up working out perfectly. They end up in the 3v1, and it's a pretty simple round in the end. It's going to bring us back to parity, and Major started to feel a lot like the hard points, where there was a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
Bueno White, definitely felt like they constantly had a slight advantage, but you just felt if Nixuh could go through a gear or potentially, get that 5% pace a little bit more, they would potentially do well, and this is exactly what's happening right now in this S&D.
Yeah, we're starting to get the infamous waft on Bocage that we're so accustomed to between these two at the moment. Ratman watching down the left-hand lane. See Molds is just waiting. He's trying to push through. There he goes. Molds with 1. The trades come through. It gets messy, though, as Bueno do manage to take down both Scorpio and Fear. So it is now going to be a 2 versus 3 here for the South Africans. Bev is just waiting to see if anyone overpeaks something. You can see that HJ is just above him. And Ratman over towards that back corner as well means that it's now going to be an opportunity for Bevs to maybe get a pick. Oh, the timing, though, is woeful. He does get spotted, and the info's going to be there. So Bueno White now in a position to try and maybe get him out of this spot, because he does retrieve the bomb, but his teammate falls. So now this is looking really bleak.
Yeah, this is not going to be easy. A 1v3 on Bocage. 26 seconds to get bomb down or get 3 kills. I think he's just going to retreat and try and get at least a couple of picks. I think he's realised just how difficult this particular mission is going to be. Does he get one pick? He manages to get one in tunnel, despite it looking slightly windy. He's only left himself 12 seconds, and this is going to be a pretty easy read for Bueno White, who take it to around 5. And they've got ourselves to around 10 apologies. And it's 5-4. And again, ever since that kind of 3-3 parity, the boys in red have just looked that touch bit stronger, particularly in defense. Defense has been so useful to them in this round. They just seem to be better with that little bit of caution.
Yeah, they've just been in positions where I think they've got a couple of picks early, and Nixuh have kind of had that uphill battle towards the later stages, which is not easy to do on a Bocage, especially considering how quickly players can just reinforce each other over towards whatever bomb site they decide to work towards. So now Bueno White only 1 round away from going 2-0 up here in this series. And now, first blood surely going to be here shortly. Scorpio, he's going to get taken down by Ratman. Potentially a connection problem with that one, because he just got absolutely beamed. HJ is going to get spotted, though. Fear can try and do a bit of work here. He's going to run straight past another man, and he's going to go for a bit of a reposition here, rather than just opt to go straight for the gunfight. There's going to be another man on that outside tank, though. He's got to be careful not to get shot, and 33 will take him down. So now, with Bevson all the way on the flank, though, he has been spotted, and you can see that he's going to get mopped up. Premium now is the last man up. He's got to try and maybe get a pick here. He knows that Molds is on the bomb, but he's going to get it down. He's going to slip away. 33 takes him down, and it's going to be another round on the board for Bueno White, and subsequently another map as well. 2-0 up they go.
Yeah, man, 6-4 does not tell the tale of that game, though. At one point, it was 3-1 squeaky bum time for Bueno White, who were on the back foot against the team who will largely be on 180+ ping. Nixuh, just, you've got to say they did themselves really proud. Bevson, 9-7, really, the kill leader in the game, but across the board, Ratman 9-5, and probably pips into that, but across the board, Bueno White just seemed to just get the measure of them towards the middle part of that S&D, and particularly in the defensive rounds, if they break the boys from Nixuh in any attacking round, it always felt like it was going to swing back their way, and that's exactly what happened. They went up 4-3, and then despite a few kind of tennis kind of rounds back and forth, it just ends up being a fairly comfortable win towards the second half of that map.
Yeah, so we now get ready for a Gavutu control, a much more slower paced map, a much more structured one. And we'll see now how these boys get on. But again, another map, Pablo, where the South Africans are going to be looking at it and thinking they could have taken it potentially. It was an opportunity for them to kind of grab that one. Obviously, in the search, they had a couple of rounds that slipped away a little bit, so they might be kicking themselves ever so slightly. But again, still another really close map that doesn't really do it justice to kind of obviously the connection that they're playing on. The 2 maps that we've had so far have been incredibly close, so credit where it's due. They could have arguably gone either way.
I think the question you've got to ask yourself is, if ping wasn't an issue, I mean, would Nixuh just completely dominate this game potentially? The games have been fairly close. The scorelines have been fairly close. They don't seem to be getting outdone for strategy. It just sometimes comes down to these individual gunfights that they're not able to win. If I'm Bueno White, I'm thinking if this Nixuh team are in the UK or, Northern Europe, that they potentially could be dominating us. But again, we'd have to speak to the players afterwards and just see what their experience of the maps were like. But big opportunity for Bueno White, regardless the Nixuh boys have accepted their fate in terms of the connection. So this is a good opportunity for Bueno White to potentially go 3-0 up and take the game, and that's just going to be good points for them in the league.
Cool. Yeah, exactly. It's I'm hoping that they do get a map here. I think they deserve one, the Nixuh. So I think if it's a 3-0, it literally won't be a representation of kind of the maps that we've seen and how close the games have been. As mentioned, Nixuh, if you guys did miss the first set of maps, it's been a very close one between these two currently, considering that the boys from South Africa are going to be rocking a huge amount of ping. 250 to 203 to the boys of Bueno White. And then they managed to take the search and destroy it 6-4. We've seen flashes, Pablo, of kind of the ability that this South African roster has. It's just a case of just seeing it out. And obviously in a control on Gavutu, we're used to seeing 3-2 pretty much. So you would anticipate we see another close map here potentially with these two. I'd be very surprised if it ends as a 3-1 or a 3-0. It wouldn't seem to do the series justice from the first 2 maps that we've had anyway if we get something different.
I think you've got too much firepower in Bevson and Fear Mage. I think they're too capable. I think they're going to put up some decent numbers. So I think we will see, you know, even if it's just a few defensive rounds that go Nix's way, we are going to see them get a few rounds on the board, hopefully. But again, you know, to control, had so many difficulties predicting how these maps go. Obviously, it's a very small map pool, and the games just seem to juxtapose. So crazily, you know, you get like one team absolutely dominates hardpoint, and then get completely slapped in S&D. So it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, I would not lose my mind if Nixuh won 3-0. It just would not surprise me. But I think obviously Bueno White very much the favourites at the minute. But I think again it'll be a close game. Yeah,
I think it's what we're hoping for anyways, to do the lads from South Africa justice. I say it wouldn't be nice if, obviously we've got the series that's coming up, haven't we? I can't remember the name of it, but where it's going to be 6 South African teams versus 6 European teams, and they're playing on each other's host. So that will be a really big key to see kind of if we get a huge difference out of the likes of Nixuh and those other teams that are taking part in it. Because if we end up in a position where we get the European lads getting absolutely slapped on their host, you kind of sit back and go, oh, okay, hang on a minute. The South Africans put up a hell of a fight on our host, and then all of a sudden our lot are getting absolutely battered on theirs. So it's going to be a comparison that's going to be an interesting one to make in that tournament, Pablo, because it's going to be brutal on the EU lads. They're going to be playing on a ping that they're probably not used to. We see a lot of the lads in the top tier gamers, they complain about 40-50 pings. So when you're rocking 200, it's going to be a very rude awakening for them.
Oh, we're going to see some absolute crying coming out of the COD community. Literally, they and listen, I'm there right with you. I can't stand playing on anything above 40, and I'm absolutely shocking. But honestly, it's good though, just to stretch yourself a little bit and just see, you know, these guys from South Africa accepted it just purely to try and extend their community and give themselves a shop window as such to show their talents. And I think, you know, when you consider just how bad things are for them playing across on this ping, they've made a really good show of themselves in this game. So good opportunity for them to bite back. And again, they just come in with so much gusto. You can see that player does try and get the flank. It is going to be beat Bevson, who gets dropped towards ramp. The Mage manages to bite back, and again, it's going to be pretty close from the outset. But there's going to be Bueno just trying to potentially get this A zone done quickly. And Major, we argue about this all the time. You know, someone needs to push B just to give them an opportunity to stretch that defensive team, but it's not going to happen. And number 8 in Premium is going to be trying to cause problems over towards back. BT finally gets dealt with by none other than Molds, who's only 1-on-1 right now, but we are very early doors in this control.
Well, I'll tell you what, Fear's woken up. He's now 6 in a row straight off the start here with an SMG on Gavutu, which is not an easy thing to do. And so close to getting that 7th. I know, commentator's curse. I do apologise. It happens all the time. And Fear now isn't going to get that all-important glide bomb. It has been a very strong start here for the lads off Nixuh. Fear is just waiting for these players to push in towards the hill. He is going to just go towards the top side of boat where there are going to be a few players, and he's going to grab another kill there. So 7 now on the score here, and maybe makes it 8. Oh, he's going to get taken down. His teammate will manage to grab that kill onto Molds, but with 28 seconds left on the clock here, Pablo, Bueno White, they've really been milked for time so far.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been an awesome performance so far from Nixuh, obviously largely on the back of Fear Mage causing absolute mayhem around, but this kind of middle, this ground that they've taken up, this no man's land almost, is not doing them any favours. They're getting picked largely from both, and they're just not getting any map control whatsoever. Scorpio just going to have his fun with 20 seconds remaining. This is very much looking like a great Nixuh defence, and not just that. 14 lives, play 16. Scratch that, make it 12 lives, play 16. A 4 life advantage. It is going to be that third tick, slowly but surely going to be heading over. HJ going to get tagged up again, knowing Fear Mage going to be that player. Major, this has been back and forth, and it's exactly what Nixuh would have wanted for their first defense.
Yeah, this is really good for them in terms of ticks, because normally we see the A point completed and then everything relies on the B point, but Nixuh with a really strong opening round there on the defensive side. They're only going to grant Bueno White 2 ticks, so we'll obviously have to kind of get our fingers out and try and keep note of that, because, say, in terms of the defensive side, Pablo, the boys from South Africa, they will take that all day.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that is a beautiful response right there. And what a way to slap back. And we did say this is potentially going to be a very close control. They're going to get rounds on the board. And I said it from the start, do not be surprised if this is a 3-0. These guys have been flying and they've been able to get kills, but largely just not been able to rotate or hold a kill. And this is an opportunity for them potentially to just slay out, which they're very capable of doing. FearMage already proven that. We know Bevson can drop big numbers. So this could be a great opportunity for the boys from South Africa to just slap back, and it's going to require big kills, and Scorpio and Bevson are there to provide them. 1 minute 10, they have got finally onto the A point, but they're going to get pushed off again with a 3-man kill feed right there from the boys in red. And again, Bueno White just trying to, you know, almost replicate that kind of great defense, and it's going to be Ratman being that ratty player over towards the back trying to cause problems in spawn.
Ratty by name, ratty by nature. Spawn kills, we know how important they can be on Gavutu, and he's just going to be watching the cross here, so all the info is going to be getting fed to his teammates. As over towards the bottom of Cliffside, there's still going to be Molds. And oh my goodness, he's going to see a lot of them. There's one for Molds. Still hunting for more. Now 3 in a row for him as he slowly starts to come to the form that we saw in map number 1. See if he can get these streaks going just a little bit further. At the moment, they are being pinned back very, very heavily at the moment. Nixuh are really struggling to try and get out of spawn here, but they do get a kill onto one Ratman, though, with another double kill. And he's going to go for 3, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to chew through pretty much everyone on the side of Nixuh. And it is now going to be a position where Nixuh are going to have to try and at least get him out and touch the point. But at the moment, he's ripping through them as another kill goes in his favour. 5 in a row. Only 5 seconds remaining now for Nixuh to even try and touch the point. But they are just being held back time after time. And a very, very solid defensive round there from Bueno White, Pablo. I don't even think that Nixuh got a tick.
Oh. Hello.
Oh, are you back?
I had to get the door. My wife routinely never takes her keys with her when she walks the dog.
I finished my sentence and I just heard, oh. I was like,
silence.
What have you been up to?
Well, apologies, viewers, but yeah, it's you know, I've got a whole family in the house. But yeah, 1-1. I mean, it's a good defense. I mean, it looked like a pretty easy defense for Bueno White, and we can see Ratman at 33 already putting up good numbers, 10 and 9 and 10 and 8 between them. So again, a bit of parity, and again, it just goes to show. I mean, at times in this game, we haven't been able to put air between these two teams, regardless of when we talk about connection or anything. So it's been a really competitive game. It's exactly what we wanted to see. Scorpion is going to get that first kill in this 3rd round. Bueno White are going to be on the attack, and they're desperately in need of ticks. This is the one thing that they've got. Well, I mean, they've got 2 ticks. Did Nixuh get any ticks towards the end of that round?
No, I don't know. That's what I was saying. I don't think they got a single tick in the end, Nixuh, on that one. So a strong defensive side from them was replied. Oh, nice shots there from Fear. Jeez, I wish I could shoot an SMG like that. Yeah, there wasn't. I'm pretty sure there wasn't a tick, if memory serves me well. I'm sure chat will correct me if there was, but Bueno White now got the upper hand themselves as more players are going to throw themselves towards that A point. Nice shots though from HJ. Nice and crisp. Looking for the second as well and manages to trade out Scorpio. So 3 men fall again. This A point is looking a lot more convincing than it was the last time round, Pabs.
Yeah, this has been a much more coherent attack and structure. You can see 33 trying to hold some kind of actual geography and a little bit of kind of elevation over towards this boat to try and give his muckers the opportunity to get more ticks. And you can see we're on to that 3rd tick already with 53 seconds, which is something we didn't see. And HJ cleverly looks to transition back up to top boat. But Nixuh with a beautiful response, 2 from FearMage and 1 from Bevson there. So they are going to slap back. But again, it's going to give Bueno White those 2 ticks. And that's going to put them on 4 in this control round. So unless Nixuh have an absolutely outstanding attacking round themselves, this already puts Bueno White into the driving seat for a potential round 5. But right now it's still early doors, still 33 seconds, and they only need a handful of seconds in order to get that kill time. But it's going to be down to Bueno right now to get the picks, and that's going to be a great start as 33 drops for your mage.
Yeah, and Bevs is just going to try and grab a couple of players off spawn, and he does manage to grab Ratman as he dips out just about in time. 33, though, you can see going on the hunt for him. Is going to search him down, and Bevs gets another kill as well. So just being a thorn in the side of them at the moment. That A point is complete, but now they've got to be careful of lives here, Nick, so they can't afford to leak too many of them. Fear's going to manage to trade out one. You can still see the Bevs is all the way over towards that cliffside as those players start to push themselves off, and Fear, tell you what, that was fearless. Throws himself straight over the top of P1 and gets gunned down by the Bueno White pretty much firing line that was over towards that beach side.
Yeah, but Bev's no major 4 right now, and he is causing absolute mayhem. Molds is on the hunt for him, but I mean, he's trying to hedge his bets a little bit. He's trying to just play as if he's just going to try and ignore him, and that is not a good strategy because Bevson is going to come up behind you and absolutely dominate. He gets one shot into one player, and as I say that, he only manages to get 1 kill. So 30 seconds remaining, and the boys from Bueno did manage to get those 3 ticks, so that's going to be huge for them if they can't get this B point. But 33, you know, he's going to have a quick answer, and he's going to say, no, I want this B point despite there only being 20 seconds, and that's going to be huge right there as we see those 2 white skulls appear, and Major Ratman is on the flank.
Oh man, he's got an opportunity to clear out quite a few. There's one for him. There's going to be another man quickly behind him though, and it's going to be Bevs again to trade him out. These next kills are huge here for Nixuh. They need to make them, and they do exactly that as now 2 versus 4 with 2 seconds left. I think this round is pretty much done. It is going to be a round in favour from the lads of Nixuh, but as mentioned, Pablo, they haven't really managed to stop the leak too much because they did manage to get quite a few ticks from that one. I believe it was 4, if memory serves me well, but it looks as though they're going to have to pretty much confirm that if they're going to get that defensive side, they're going to have a brilliant attacking round here.
I think they got all of A, but I'm not sure whether they got a tick on B. So I've got them at 3 at the minute, but that puts them on 5 in total. And Nixuh with 0 are going to have to get an almost flawless attacking round. And right now, I just don't think there's enough separating the teams for them to do that. Bueno have just got a reasonably cohesive defensive strategy. They're able to get good picks. They've got some very, very good players. And we've seen 33, quite a reasonably quiet S&D just start to pick up again at 20 and 13. BMH is going to try and get control, but probably not the best gun to try and do that with on top boat with the MP14 again. Usually you see like a 3 and 3 AR 1 SMG meta on this, but it is going to be that split for the boys from Nixuh. Whether that's going to cost them, we do see the kill feed though largely going white, so a good opportunity for them to try and get some time. And there's going to be HJ just coming in just at the wrong time. He manages to clean it out despite a few wafty shots. And Major right now, there's another top defense from the boys in red.
Yeah, and a quick shout out to Declan, who's just dropped a raid of 21. Thank you very much, Declan. Hope you're well, buddy. If you are just joining us in this series, we've currently got an ACCL Division 2 game here between Nixuh, who are all the way from South Africa, currently rocking 200 ping up against Bueno White. And we're currently in map number 3, so Bueno White now still holding strong on this defensive side. 23 lives, plays 19, now down to 22 as Ratman's going to fall, so too will Molds as well, and Fear's going to have one man that runs straight past him, but they do manage to open up a lane to now start to stack this A point. They're going to have a lot of bodies on it. The triple stack is now in. I'm not sure whether Bueno White are even going to bother trying to contest this one because I don't think that Molds is going to get there in time, but he will find a lot of people as he pokes his head around the corner. Potentially not the smartest move, that one, Pablo, because it did look as though that one was pretty much dead to rights.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, wild plays in the end. It's 16 lives, plays 17, no major. And there's a good opportunity for Nixuh potentially to cause some problems here. They do need to get this defense in as soon as possible. It's going to be Molds, though, who does drop Fear Mage inside that armored troop carrier, and that's going to put them on the back foot again. And with over a minute 15 remaining, 13 lives, play 15, this could well come down to lives. Nixuh are going to need to go big, though, because the boys already set up, and when you've got Molds and 33 hitting the kill feed the way they've just done, it's going to be very problematic. Molds already pushing up to ring to try and get a little bit of pressure, a little bit of geography, and that's going to come dividends as he drops premium again. 16 to 25, it doesn't look like it's been a great performance, but a lot of those kills have been, you know, just at the right time, just those huge kills that can, you know, make or break a kill. So right now, great performance from Bueno, but that's going to be huge. Major Fear Mage manages to get a kill, and he's going to be back jungle, and hopefully that's potentially going to give Nixuh an opportunity to get a little bit more ground mid-map.
Yeah, he's right above these 2 players here. Whether or not they'll see him, I don't know. He's like Tarzan at the moment in the trees. He will get one before he falls. But now Nixuh, they're down to 5 lives here. This is looking a bit bleak. It looks like we're going to go towards that infamous round 5 that we're used to seeing on the Gavutu. And Molds has been spotted pushing up mid, so he should be dead to rights. And they managed to open up a couple of players there. So now, when are they going to try and push this? They've only got 12 seconds left, but the shots of Ratman are going to tag Fear in the face. And Scorpio now going to get one, and he's going to get traded out swiftly, though. So now it's going to be a 2 versus 7, or 1 versus 7, as now Premium looks as though he's the last man up with some nice shots, though, to take down Ratman. But he's not going to get on the point, and we are going to go to that round 5.
Yep, and this is driving see Bueno White, who've got, you know, the 5 ticks over. I mean, what we have 3 for Nixuh, so they're going to get that defensive advantage, and you know, both defensive rounds, they've looked very solid, taking the team down to double negative. It was 5 lives, plays 10 towards 1 point at the end. So you would say, advantage Bueno right now, and across the board, Major 22, 21, 23 and 16, 26 and 20. Great play across the board for Bueno White.
Yeah, they're looking pretty consistent. And Molds, although he's negative, all you've got to do is play SMG on this map for one go and you'll realise why it is horrific to play a submachine gun role. Molds just going to get really aggressive again on towards that P1 side. He will actually get team shot there by Ratman, who you see him get two, one of which is going to be his own teammate. And Nixuh are going to look to try and switch it up, but Ratman grabs one. The trade, though, will be there again. They've got to be careful, though, from HJ, because he's already looking to try and put himself in a position, perhaps, where he can try and pinch a couple of players out.
It's just whether he's going to get taken out of the game. And if they're able to get more picks from Ring and just keep forcing them back, he's going to have to come behind. But no one at the minute is reading the flank. He might get some unfortunate time, and he is going to push through ramp, and he might get dealt with now by HJ. Oh. He gets the handgun out, though, and manages to body him in a fight that he truly didn't deserve. But great reactions and great play with the handgun. Scorpio is going to be inside Ring, though, trying to replicate that, and he manages to get a shot into HJ. Molds, though, with the trade. Ratman's going to be there over towards A. We do see one tick go their way. I think they've realised Major only 36 seconds on the clock, and B was a bit of a failure, so they desperately need this A, and that's going to be the second tick. Bueno White on the back foot slightly, 21-21 though, and the lives count is going to be equal, 36 seconds, and that's point A secured. And Major 1 minute 33 on the clock, and Nixuh have got a big job on their hands to do.
Yeah, this is an opportunity now for them to try and make the play, but this man here on your screen, Ratman, going absolutely rogue once again. Another couple of kills to his name. He's looking to the third onto Scorpio, who's going to fly off the top of boat. Just about to trade him out. But now, Nixuh, where is this next push going to come from? It looks as though through P5 is going to be the call. 33 going to be forced to back up just a little bit. And you can see Molds on the minimap is going to be lurking over towards P1, but meanwhile Ratman's still in the back, just not allowing anyone on the side of Nixuh any sort of progression up the map. They've got 1 minute remaining, Pabs. They just obviously need to try and regroup here, because if they don't get the next couple of picks and they get staggered again, that's going to be another push that's going to go down the toilet.
Yeah, absolutely, and I was just watching just towards that right-hand side, that you've got 5.
Big kills.
You need to set a kick. That's huge. Bevson gets a double fear. Mage gets one, and they manage to take up some geography. We've got a player, number 7. It's going to be fear Mage onto the hill, and that's huge as well. As you see, a full team wipe, but not just that. They force the players from Bueno White out towards the back of P5, and this is absolutely huge. They are going to need to get these kills. There is going to be one tick going down towards B right now, and that is absolutely huge. Only 2 ticks needed. 2 ticks, Major. 2 ticks needed. The number 5 there has got to get that pick. He manages to drop the players, and again, that's huge. Fear Mage goes absolutely massive in the kill. Not able to get that second tick with only 34 seconds remaining. They need 1.5 ticks to win this game.
Yeah, the thing that's going to get the better of them, though, might be time. They did a really good job of holding it for as long as they could. But now they've just got to try and force their way in. But 33 is cutting down players left, right, and centre. Scorpio still up towards P1. Is it going to be the same outcome? Yes, it is. As 33 just cleans off 3 players in very quick succession. They're desperately trying to get to the point, but Ratman is just cutting them off one by one. They're going to maybe at least be able to touch the hill here if Fear can get in there quick enough. But number 2 on the flank, though, HJ, he's going to look to try and be the upsetting player. Is he going to manage to get the kill? He won't, but it's going to be game, set, and match, and Bueno White get it done in 5.
Yeah, really nice play towards the end. Bueno White just a strong defense, and at times Nixuh did look like they were going to break on through, in particular off the back of Fear Mage, but just a little too much and a little bit too much responsibility just placed on the one man to kind of get, you know, double kills, triple kills. It was great play in the end. He drops another 34 and 27, but across the board, Ratman and 33 teaming up to just make it very difficult for them, and a pretty comfortable win in the end. 3-0, 6-4, and 250 to 203 do not tell the story of this game. No, a lot closer in terms of quality. 3-2. Sorry, guys, I've just stole 2 rounds off you. But yeah, it just really doesn't tell the story of the game. Very close and at times very competitive, but again, just a little bit too much from the boys from South Africa.
Yeah, so a very good series nonetheless. We only saw 3 maps, but every single one was incredibly close between those lads. So GG's there to both teams. Congratulations there to Bueno White. They will take the dub on this occasion. And commiserations there to the lads from South Africa, Nixuh. But one hell of a fight there. You can see the scores just on your screen, and I'll just pop the replays up for you guys just in case you did miss any of the moments in the map. But a really strong performance again from the South African boys, and it's going to be a series score that you look at it and you think, oh, looks pretty one-sided, but if anyone's watched it all the way through, you know that definitely wasn't the case. And Nixuh, unfortunately to them, will have to be the team on the receiving end of the loss on this one. But a big shout out to everyone who's tuned into the stream. That is going to be mine and Pablo's one game for the evening, and I am absolutely starving as per usual. Mr. Moles dropping by the chat. Thanks for casting. No worries, buddy. Well played. Well played. Congratulations there to you and your boys.
Molds.
GG's there to everyone. And yeah, big shout out to everyone who's dropped by the stream, new and old. You all very much appreciate, all you handsome lads and beautiful ladies. And we should be back very, very soon for some more Call of Duty action, whether it's going to be ACCL or ACGL. If we've got a game thrown at us, we usually take it. But yeah, a big shout out to everyone who's dropped in the chat. I will quickly have a look to see if there is anyone that we can raid, just to show a little bit of love to while we're here. Let's have a look. What have we got? Let's go for Noonie. He's always here. He's always here showing love. And raid Noonie. Oh, Mr. Terry Yogs. If anyone knows him, you'll know how beautiful he is. Lovely dimples as well, just saying. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. That is going to be it from us this evening. A huge shout out to all the players. And yeah, we will be back tomorrow for some more Call of Duty action. And we'll see you beautiful people there. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you then.
Ciao, ciao.